morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I will be with you in just a couple of minutes, getting a few things situated, a couple more tokens pulled up. Can you hear me now? New video. Good morning, everybody. Hang in there with me for another minute or two. Do me a favor, those of you that are waiting for this to get started, man, I thank you so much. I hope your day so far has been filled with love and happiness. I'm excited, man. What an incredible morning I've had, and I'm looking forward to really giving you guys some incredible crypto gems today. This is going to be a regular video that we do, so I appreciate all of you that are tuning in for the first time. Do me a favor, man, smash that like button, please. Smash that like button. Let's see if we can get this out to some new folks, attract some new people to the channel that can hopefully create some financial freedom with us. We want to build a community of folks that are winning in life and that are winning financially and that can get the freedom that they deserve and that they want, whatever freedom means to you. That is the goal of this channel. So we got a couple more minutes. I got a couple quick things that I'm going to pull up on my computer. We'll man, I am excited to be going live here with you in just a few minutes. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey guys, I am excited to be with you in what is the AM for me. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning for me. Some of you are probably East Coast time, maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we probably have some people that are on the other side of the world that are watching us at 10, 11, 12, 1 in the morning, their time. I appreciate all of you being here. And today, folks, we are going to be talking about some microcap millions. We are going to get into some tokens that I'm looking at, some tokens that I've been investing in. Going to give you a little bit of an idea behind the scenes. And folks, I've got my son here working with me. If you've got any tokens that you would like me to take a look at, do us a favor, man. Throw us a super chat in there, and he'll let me know when we got a super chat. I'll be happy to do a deep dive on any of the tokens that you would like me to take a look at today. So if you've got some tokens that you're looking at that you've been thinking about buying and you wanted me to pull them up on CoinGecko and go look at their website, look at their socials, and really take a closer look at it, feel free to let us know in the super chat, and I will definitely do that. For those of you that don't like super chat, we do have some memberships that are available to you also. So when you're looking at the front screen on YouTube, there's a spot where you can click join. We've got 3 different memberships, one for $4.99, one for $9.99, and one for $19.99. The $9.99 and the $19.99 both give you the ability to come on to this stream every single week and ask me to look at a coin or two. So if you want to just, pay $10 a month, $20 a month for all of that incredible value, you can go in and see everything that you get for that on top of all of the other value. One of the things that you get is you get me, to come in and be able to ask me to do a deep dive on a token. So let me pull something up on my phone here real fast that my dog knocked off the desk. Something that I read today, or actually not read, I heard it this morning. When I work out, I like to listen to things that are going to propel me forward in my future. And so one of the things that I love about exercise is that I get to kill, 2 birds with 1 stone. I get to listen to, some incredible information. I was listening to a guy today named Myron Golden. And this one little thing that he said stuck out to me so much that I stopped the video that I was watching, the YouTube video that I was watching, and I went and wrote this down, and I want to share it with you guys. So in the last video, I shared a quote by Inky Johnson that went something like, champions are built on the other side of not feeling like it. And that really struck me when I heard that, because so often in life, we don't feel like it. And I've really figured out over the last few years that the biggest difference between successful people and unsuccessful people that get their dreams and get where they want to be, and people that don't, is that the people that get there, the successful people, they do it whether they feel like doing it or not. Where unsuccessful people only do it when they feel like doing it. But let me pull up this quote here. It says, success requires attention. Success requires intention. Decay and atrophy only require neglect. And what his point was, folks, is that just like it says, success is intentional. Success happens through intention. You don't just automatically wake up and become successful. But folks, you can become unsuccessful just by doing nothing. Like, you don't got to go out of your way and try to become unsuccessful. It'll just happen naturally if you're not being intentional about creating success. It's just like, you can't be both. You can't be successful and unsuccessful. You're either one or the other. And so you're either intentionally creating success in your life, or just through not intentionally creating success in life, you're automatically allowing decay and unsuccess in. So folks, this is not the Monday, the Monday mindset mastery, but I did want to start off with just a little bit of, something that touched me this morning. That resonated with me. Success is intentional. And I appreciate all of you that are here because you're being intentional. All of you got someplace else that you could be, other than here. Once again, I love Sam Price of Crypto Lifer. He always thanks all of his viewers and said, thank you for spending your most important asset with me, and that's your time. We can always make more money, but time is finite. And so I appreciate those of you that are here and that believe that this is a good use of your time, that the ROI that you're going to get on your time here is valuable. So as we jump in, I do want to mention, this is titled Microcap Gems, and I'm going to do definitely going to do some microcap gems, some stuff that's very low on the market cap, stuff that's got some potential to do, 100x, 500x, 1000x potentially. 1,000Xs don't come around all that often. And so a lot of influencers use that in the thumbnails because it does get attention. But I don't want you guys thinking that everything I'm going to be talking about today is going to help you turn, $100 into $100,000 or $1,000 into $1 million. I do think if we keep playing this game right, we are going to get lucky. We are going to hit some of those that do that. But I really do believe that a lot of these tokens have the potential to 25 or 50 or 100x your funds. And man, I got to tell you guys, it doesn't take that long to create some significant wealth. Even at 10x, folks, you realize if you take a $10,000 or a $1,000 bill and you get it into the right coin at the right time and you 10x that to 10,000, and then you don't go spend the money. You take that 10,000 and you wait for the right opportunity and you get that 10,000 into another 10x. You just turned $1,000 into $100,000. If you do that one more time, you're at $1 million. So those of you that don't have a ton of funds, you're in the right place because we can help you take a little bit and turn it into a bunch. And for those of you that are doing a little bit better in life that have, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 lying around, or that you're going to be able to put into the market over the next little while, man, you can really turn this into millions of dollars. So I think there's a lot of folks out there that got 10, 25, 50 grand that are thinking, man, if I could just 4 or 5x that, get up to, $250,000, I'd be happy. And I would say that I don't think you're dreaming big enough. I think if you've got 10, 25, 50 grand that you can get into the market, that you really have the potential to get to millions. So let me share my screen here. I want to pull up CoinGecko. And so we're going to go over here. We're going to click on that. We're going to hit share. And we should be seeing some CoinGecko if I did everything right. Nope, we're not. I got to add it to the stage. There we go. Now we're seeing some CoinGecko. Life is good. All right, guys. This background is not my favorite. Let me get rid of this background here real quick and go to this background. I think this background here, a little slower moving, and it also has some altcoins in it, baby. I mean, other than Bitcoin, everything else there is a Litecoin. So real quick, I want to go back to the chat and see what we got going on, if anything going on in the chat. Those of you that are here, I see you. I appreciate you. Feel free to hop into the chat and, let us know where you're here from, and let us know if you got any tokens that you'd like us to take a look at. But the first thing I wanted to do was just kind of share CoinGecko with you, and let's see kind of where the markets are at today. So let's refresh this baby. Bitcoin is sitting at a little under 69,000. So it's a little bit of a red day. But one of the things that I wanted to mention, folks, and part of the reason that I'm bringing up Bitcoin, if any of you are going like, hey, I thought this was a microcap gem video, is whatever happens with Bitcoin is normally multiplied and happens with the altcoins. So if Bitcoin goes down, 5%, a lot of times you're going to see dips of 10 or 15 or 20%. And normally the lower on the market cap that a token is, the smaller its market cap is. A lot of times the more it gets beat up, because the way most investors look at this type of stuff is when the markets are iffy and they're going sideways, or they look like they have the potential to possibly have some downturn in them, investors want to move their money into safe assets. And then when things are bullish and things are looking great and Bitcoin's going up, that's when the smart money likes to start putting it into the riskier, more speculative assets. And so if we go out here to the 1 month chart on Bitcoin, you can kind of see that it's been here. I mean, it was all the way down here in the low 50s. That was a month ago. But if you come up here closer to, say, in the middle of the month, this is say like March around March 13th, or like down here, we've got, March 11th. So we're talking about, the last 2 weeks roughly. You can kind of see it's not totally just straight sideways. It's definitely got some up and down. But if you look at the peak to the, to the bottom, it's staying within that channel pretty well. And that's one of the things that, the professional traders are looking at. They're looking at these levels and waiting for Bitcoin to decide whether or not it wants to break out to the upside, or if it wants to break down, and do some more dumping. And so while we're in this channel, you want to be careful about what you're investing in. You want to make sure that you've got a long-term mindset. Now, one of the things that I'll always do when we're talking about these tokens is I'm always going to be mindful of whether or not these are tokens that I'm buying for the long term, the next year and a half, theoretically even tokens that if you held them for the next 10 years through all of the ups and downs, that you would be doing incredible with. And, Bitcoin, there's no better example of that than Bitcoin. If you would have bought Bitcoin 10 years ago and then just held on to it, you would have gone through some incredible mountains and valleys. But if your goal was a long-term goal, if your goal back 10 years ago was to create financial freedom for yourself, say in 10 years, had you bought Bitcoin 10 years ago, you'd be good. Depending on how many you bought, and back 10 years ago, you'd have been able to get quite a few for not all that much money. So when it's, I'm back in 2016, I bought a little Bitcoin at around $500. So figure, do the math, even from 2016 for the last 8 years. If I would have just bought, say, 20 Bitcoin at $500, that's 10 grand. Now it's worth, say, 70. It's a little less. Well, let's call it 70,000. So, what's 20 Bitcoin times 70,000? If my math is correct, that's about $1.4 million, folks. If you wanted to be rich in 10 or 15 years, I would basically almost tell you that you could just probably buy Bitcoin now, if you could buy enough of it, if you could get some money into it, because Bitcoin's going to go from, 70,000 probably up into the millions over the next decade or so. But I don't think any of us want to wait 10 or 15 years to have our freedom, right? I mean, if you guys are here because you want to get your freedom in the next 12 to 18 months, throw a 1 in the chat, please. If you're here because you want financial freedom yesterday, then throw a 1 in the chat for me. Let's see how many people are excited to get financial freedom now and not later. Folks, it looks like we got our first super chat here from Deadwood. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at his coin, and then we will jump into some of the coins that I have for you. So we've got Trade and CSwap are two. Let me put this up on the screen for you guys. Trade and CSwap are two that I think have great chances and just started moving. Poly Trade and Chainlink Swap. So let's run over here back to CoinGecko and check out. Let's go with Poly Trade first. And do me a favor, Deadwood. If I'm not looking at the right coin, just say something in the chat, and we'll make sure that we got it situated. So Poly Trade, ticker Trade, that looks like the one that you had in there. That was its ticker. So let's see what we got here, folks. And let me give you a little insight as to what I'm looking for when I look at these tokens and decide whether or not I want to bring them to you. So first thing that I look at is the initial market cap, 76 million. That's definitely in the realm of the microcap gems. I like a lot of stuff that's between $1 million and 25 million for the real degen plays. But folks, you can't do just degen plays. So 76 million shows that this token has a little success. It's been around probably for a little bit. So the next thing that I do after I look at this initial market cap here is I want to scroll down and see, where it lives. Ethereum is great, but as we know, there's a lot of high fees in Ethereum. And it's also right now, Solana is hot. I'm going to talk about another network that is hot. Just because it's on Ethereum, though, does not mean that I wouldn't buy it. In fact, I've bought 2 or 3 tokens recently on Ethereum, and I'm going to probably talk about at least a couple of them today. Let's see here. But the nice thing is this: you go here, click this button. One of these days, I think old CoinGecko ought to sponsor this channel because I'm always highlighting CoinGecko. But anyway, so this is great news. So I love the fact that it's on Arbitrum. Arbitrum is an up-and-coming blockchain with super low fees. You know, Polygon, obviously, Matic is an incredible token, and it's on BNB. So that's beautiful. We can bypass the Ethereum. It would go over here. My next thing that I normally look at is markets. I want to see where it's trading. So, you know, KuCoin, great, you know, great exchange. Now, for United States citizens, after the news yesterday, I would be a little leery about keeping funds on there. And even if I wasn't in the United States, I would potentially pull my money off of that exchange, at least temporarily. Not financial advice, but folks, I made a huge mistake during the last bear market, and I'm man enough to admit it. I had money on Voyager, and a lot of the clients that I was working with, I do one-on-one coaching, and something that I think is incredibly valuable is to be able to earn some yield, earn some APR on your tokens, especially during a bear market. So most of us had a lot of our tokens in Voyager so that we could be earning interest on those tokens. And the mistake that I made was when Celsius went out of business, I didn't panic enough. And I told myself, hey, Voyager is a publicly traded company. It's on, the Canadian Stock Exchange. It's publicly traded, guys. So there's got to be checks and balances, and there's no way that they can go under the same way that Celsius did. And I was a little naive. And so rather than warning my clients and even myself and just saying, hey, it's not worth the risk, unfortunately, we lost a few dollars on that, when Voyager went out of business. And long story short, I could have avoided it. The people that had funds on Celsius, there was nothing I could do for. And I never really recommended Celsius. In fact, my favorite platform for earning interest is called Nexo, Nexo. That's a little bit of alpha for you that I wasn't even planning on giving. But Nexo, outside of the United States, is a very good platform. It's one of the platforms that made it through this last bear market. And even though Celsius went under and Voyager went under and a lot of things went under, Nexo stayed strong. Unfortunately, they don't serve United States citizens anymore. I used to have a huge amount of my portfolio on there. And then after Celsius and Voyager had their little debacle, United States citizens were asked to leave. So if you have the ability to KYC and you live in a country that Nexo supports, I definitely recommend that you take a look at that token and take a look at that platform. Do your own research, do your own due diligence. Never put more money on a platform like that you can afford to lose, but that's a great way to earn some incredible interest. And sorry, I know I'm like a squirrel, man. I'm running and jumping and getting all over the place. But so far, everything that I've seen here about this token looks, respectable. It definitely gives me enough interest to keep looking at it. So I like MEXC. MEXC has been going really well for me. Give me one quick second here. I want to make sure that this isn't important in case something's wrong with my stuff. But nope, looks like we're good. So I like MEXC a lot, and I use it quite a bit. In fact, I might even pull up my MEXC and show you a couple of tokens that I've really, been excited about and that I've been doing some investing in. But yeah, so far, checks and balances, it's going good. Then I like to get back here. So let's go look at its all-time high. So its all-time high was $2.50, which was literally about 3 hours ago. July 3rd of 2022 was its all-time low. So, it's been around now for closing in on a couple of years. It's obviously been doing relatively well. And look at the chart here. So for the 1 year chart, it's up, 3,176% is basically, a 32X. In crypto, we talk a lot about X's. where in the stock market they say a lot about they say a lot about percentages. So sometimes you can get excited. You can be looking at this and think, holy smokes, 31,000%, and think that that's like turning $100 into 3 million or something, huge like that, when in reality it's still a fantastic number. But the difference between a percentage and an X is that this basically means that it's gone up, 32 times. So if you had put $100 into this a year ago, you'd have 3,200 today, which is fantastic. And then if we look at it over just the last, 30 days, it's up a little over 100%. So it's up over a little double. If you put 100 into it 30 days ago, you'd have about $230, and so on and so forth. So, a lot of tokens are looking like this recently. Doesn't get me super nervous that it's had this big of a run up, but at the same time, it is something to be a little bit wary of. So a lot of times with a token like this, if I do decide to invest in it, I'm not going to go crazy and just put, let's say that I wanted to buy $1,000 worth of this. A lot of times when a token has had this type of a run up, I'm not going to necessarily go through and just put my whole $1,000 into it right up front, right at this time. We're going to probably dollar cost average in. We're going to throw a little bit of money in right now, say maybe $250 worth. If it looks like it's going to continue to run, maybe we throw in another 250. If it starts to dip and it goes down, say it has a 10 or 20, 30% retraction, then I'll throw some more funds into it. And eventually we're going to get that whole $1,000 into the coin. But man, we don't got to be in a hurry, folks. And I'm going to show you why here in a minute on MEXC. I'm going to show you one of the coins that I really like. And I'm going to show you where I felt like I'd missed the boat with it. And then I'm going to show you how it came back down to life, and I was actually able to get a pretty good entry. Something else that's super important, folks, and thank you so much, Crypto Lifer, for the $20 super chat, man. I love you too. And for anybody that's here, if you have not checked out Crypto Lifer's YouTube channel, you need to check it out, man. This guy is the best when it comes to technical analysis. When I wake up in the morning and I want to kind of have a feeling for what the markets are doing and which direction they're going to be going in, I definitely go listen to the show that he does in the mornings, because he breaks it all down for you, and he's a lot more technical about it than me. I'm a fundamentals guy, and I have my thoughts on it, but he can break it down scientifically. He doesn't use the word feel. He hates the word feel. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit of a feel guy. I'm a feeler. And he's not a feeler. He just goes by the numbers. So appreciate him being here. He's also an incredible man. I know that you guys will enjoy the heck out of his channel if you listen to it. But folks, I know I gotta get through this a little bit quicker. It looks like the super chats are rolling in. So I want to get through here, Deadwood. So the last thing that I would mention here on this token is that I did notice, go back up here to this initial market cap. The other thing you want to look at is its fully diluted value. What that means is with the initial market cap, you've also got what you call here the circulating supply of the token versus the total supply. So as you guys can see here, only about 31 going on 32 million of the tokens are in circulation, but it's got a total supply of 100 million. So one of the things that I would do if I was you, Deadwood, is I would figure out where the rest of these tokens are coming from and how they're vested. So a lot of times when a company does like a private sale, it doesn't want the people that got into the private sale before it launches to dump all of their tokens onto the market at once. So maybe they give them 5 or 10% when it launches, and then another 10% a month, say, for a year. Well, if that's the case, or it'd be 9 more months, if that's the case, that doesn't keep me from investing in a project normally, but it does make me a little bit more careful, because what you got to realize is that means that 30 days from launch, another 10% of those tokens are going to hit the market. And these private sale investors a lot of times have gotten in early. So if this token is at a 5 or 10x their price, it only makes sense for them to take some profit. So it creates some sell pressure. Now, some of the incredible projects out there can eat that sell pressure up like it's nothing. But if a project has lost any momentum, it's lost any steam, sometimes those unlocks of the tokens can definitely have an adverse, reaction to the price, especially temporarily. So one of the things that I look at, another little, piece of alpha, something that I do, if I've got a token on my radar that I want to buy that I didn't get into private sale wise, is I will keep track of its vesting schedule. And it's almost inevitable that when these tokens go, their vesting goes and these private sale investors get the token, a lot of times the token is going to take a dip. I'm not talking about a massive dip. It's not going to go down, 50% probably, but there's a lot of times where it'll go down 10, 15, 20% temporarily, and it'll give you a nice little entry point. And like I said, with a good token, they snap it back up, they buy it back up, and it's back up to its previous price or even higher a lot of times. But that's a great way to get a good entry. So that's kind of the last thing that I'm going to say about this, Deadwood. I don't have time to go figure out where these other, 650 million tokens are coming from and when they're coming. But that would be one more thing that I would look at and just have on your mind. But everything that I see here, I like it so far. Real quick here, let's click on their website. I don't think that their website is going to pull up in the tab for me, but I should be able to just click on this and then hit this, and we should be sharing the new tab, right? 10 seconds behind. Okay. So we're going to come over here and take a peek at the website. We got the Polytrade. So your gateway to real world assets. Okay. So it's an RWA type of token. That's another thing to look at, folks, is the narrative. RWA tokens, I believe, are going to be huge during this bull market. Right now, RWA is definitely trending. It's gaining traction, and it's also real world value. So real world assets translates into real world value. And I think that RWA is going to continue to grow over the next 5, 10, 15, 25 years and become more and more common on the blockchain. So, I like everything that I see. And that's the other reason for this live stream, folks, is, man, this is a token that I didn't even have on my radar. It's not even a token I was going to share with you guys. But thank you very, very much, Deadwood, for bringing this up. And I tell you what, Deadwood, I'm going to take a look at your other token on my own, and then I'll get back to you. I'll get in touch with you. I don't have time to do the other token right now. I gotta, I want to take care of everybody else that is being so generous. But thank you very much, Deadwood, for bringing this to the channel. It was definitely a great token, and I am looking forward to taking a peek at your other one, Deadwood. So let me scroll down. Hopefully we get a chance to go through some of my tokens, man. I appreciate your guys' generosity. So we got Thomas here. What do we got here? GPT Plus on CoinGecko. Looks like a do-it-all AI microcap gem. Well, that's another one. I like me a microcap. So let's get back over here. So GT Plus, let's get back over here to CoinGecko. And we're going to share the CoinGecko website. And then I got to get myself off of this silly screen so that you ain't looking at my face. You're actually seeing CoinGecko. That ought to do it. There we go. There's CoinGecko again. So we're going to come over here and look at GPT Plus. So that's another thing, folks, that those of you that aren't familiar with CoinGecko, it's got a search engine here. You just type in GPT, and looks like we go down here to about 4. We got GPT Plus down about 25% today. That's interesting. That happens with these microcap gems. Holy smokes. talk about a micro cap gem, folks. Look at this, $761,000 market cap. Now, folks, this is the type of token where fortunes can be made if it's the right token. If you start doing the math and this thing goes up to 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, 100 million in market cap, like the one that we just looked at was at 76 million. This one's at 760,000. This one's got at least 100x, if my math is right, 100x in it to get to $76 million. Man, you know, so right here, that'd be 100x if it went up to 76 million. So let's take a little bit closer look at it. I love the fact that it's an AI token. So we're going to do the similar thing here. We're going to check out the market cap on it. That looks, amazing. Obviously, folks, the lower the market cap, the higher the risk, but it's also the higher the reward. So one of the ways that I play these microcap gems is with a little bit of money. This ain't the kind of thing that you just go throw 10 grand at, especially if you only got 10 grand, or even if you had 100 grand. I don't think it's smart to throw 10% of your portfolio at something like this. But man, you could take $1,000 or even $100 or even $25. Do 25 times 1,000, folks. That's a lot of money. And if $25 is what you got in your budget to throw at these coins, then $25,000 could potentially be life-changing. I mean, if you're in a spot where you got 25 here and 25 there, 25 grand is pretty spectacular. So it's all relative to your personal situation. But, it's so far, I don't know why it's having this dip. I mean, the day so far is a little red. This is a little bit on the high side. But once again, the volatility in these tokens is going to be, you're going to have huge swings in these tokens. This thing, we could look at this thing here in 3 or 4 hours, and it could be a green line just straight back up to where it's even for the day or even in, some profit. So I don't let that scare me. Let's see where we can get it here. So it's an Ethereum token, and it looks like it's only on Ethereum. If there was 3 dots here, that would mean that there's other spots that you can get it. So it's an Ethereum token, and it's a tiny market cap. And so if you have to buy it on like Uniswap and pay huge fees, then it wouldn't make sense for somebody that was buying 25 or 50 or maybe even $500 worth of it. If you have to buy it on Uniswap and pay huge fees, that would really be up to each individual. But let's see where else we can get it other than Uniswap, if any place. Okay, so right there, MEXC Global. I love MEXC Global. That's that MEXC Global should be sponsoring me. I don't know if they sponsor Sam, but I know that Crypto Lifer loves MEXC Global, and he does a ton of stuff with it. If they don't sponsor him, they oughta. But man, MEXC Global has just about everything. If you're looking for an exchange that has just about every cryptocurrency that you could imagine, MEXC is the one, man. It used to be KuCoin, but now MEXC has created just an incredible marketplace for those of us that want to be, degens. One of the things to look at when you get on here with MEXC is find out how many tokens it's going to cost you to transfer it out to your private wallet. So I believe that MEXC is safe, and you can hold a pretty substantial amount of money on there. I know that Sam, from Crypto Lifer has some pretty big funds on that exchange, but compared to his net worth, it's not a huge percentage. So I think even Sam would agree with me that he's not putting, 75 or 90% of his net worth onto an exchange, no matter how much he trusts them. But folks, with the Ethereum fees, like you might be able to say get 100,000 tokens for say $25 or whatever the math is. But if you go to the withdrawal page and it's going to cost you 75,000 tokens to withdraw it to your private wallet, then you might want to, consider how much you need to buy to make it worth your while. Also, if you want to just leave it on MEXC, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's not enough money that it's going to make you miserable if something did happen and you lost it. So if you're buying $100 worth, $200 worth, $500 worth, and if something happened and you lost that, it wasn't going to change your life, then feel free to leave it on MEXC. I've got some tokens on MEXC. I just liquidated some stuff and moved some stuff around, but a few days ago I had 15 grand on MEXC. Right now I think I've got a couple $1,000 worth on MEXC. So I definitely keep a little bit of money on exchanges. It's easy to make it, to trade and go back and forth. So so far this thing has got a little bit of potential here. Let's see what its all-time low and high was. So we've got February 21st of 2024, about a month ago, was its all-time low. So that lets me know that it's probably a newer token, has hit the market recently. If not, it would have its all-time low would have been further back, because all tokens had their all-time low during, this 2021, 22, 23. So it shows me that it's a fairly new token. It looks like it's up, 1,100%, which is 11x from its all-time low. That is not that bad. I mean, as far as me being nervous about it, especially at, a $700,000 market cap. So, it kind of passes that check mark as far as, I would be open to taking a closer look at it. It's 600 million are out in circulation. 15 billion. So it's got 15 billion tokens. Only 600 million of those are in circulation. So what's my math? So 600 million times 10 would be 6 billion. 20 is 12 billion. So it's basically got it looks like about 25 times this supply still to hit the market. So I might be off on this, but I'm guessing that's roughly about 25% of its tokens are on the market or less. So that would be another situation here where I would definitely take a look at the vesting schedule and see when these other, 14.0, it's way less. That's like 90% or more of the supply is still left to come out into the marketplace. So I would definitely find out when these tokens are hitting the marketplace, how many of them are hitting the marketplace. If 5% a month are hitting the marketplace for 20 months, that's a lot different than if 25% of the tokens are going to be hitting the market for the next 3 or 4 months. So that's one other thing that I would take a quick look at. And then let's check out their website here real fast and get a little closer look at what they are doing. He said it was an AI token. So if I did everything right, yeah, we look like we're on the website for them. And so what do we got here? Elevate your vision with AI-powered GPT Plus. Embark on a transformative journey, turning visionary ideas into intelligent blockchain-backed solutions. So, it's got, let's click on its product page here. Power your digital life with AI agents. Elevate, showcase AI agents. Sort AI agent based on different categories below. All right, that's kind of hard to see. I can't really see that great. But it's not a bad looking website. One of the things that I would probably do that I didn't mention on the last token is go join their communities, take a peek at their socials. If this coin's got 300 people in its Telegram group, that's not a great sign. 300 followers on Twitter, not a great sign. Although you can't, depending on how new it is, that's not necessarily a total deal breaker. But if they got a big community, we all know that the reason that meme coins launch, to such crazy numbers is not because of the utility, it's because of the community. So although I hate to say it, folks, I would rather have a coin that is not that great as far as the utility, that's got an incredible community behind it, versus a coin that's got incredible real world value and incredible utility, but no community. Now, that's not to say that the real world utility one won't catch up and won't be a amazing token at some point in time. But if you're looking to get into stuff that has the potential to really moon for you, community is super, super important. So, I mean, this is certainly, I'm curious. Let's click on the metaverse portion. So I think that metaverse is something that was really big in the last bull market. And so far, it hasn't gotten a whole lot of attention in this bull market. But I do think that that will change as we get into the later stages of this bull market and Bitcoin, gets back up to about 100,000. I think that a lot of these metaverse plays could do very well and will do very well. It's a matter of figuring out which ones. There's so many of them. They don't all have the ability to be successful. There's not enough traction, like there's going to be a Facebook of the metaverse in a sense. And I don't think it's going to be Facebook, by the way. It ain't going to be Meta. But in general, there's only room for so many players in a space like this. In my opinion, there's going to be a few that are incredibly successful. And then there's going to be a bunch that aren't very successful. So like I heard a statistic the other day that said there's 30 million small businesses or businesses in the United States. 5,400 or 5,700 of them, from what I was told, earn 50% of the revenue. You get that? 30 million companies in the United States, 5,700 of them make half of the money. And the other 29 million, 900,000, whatever, have to split up the other 50% of the money. And that's kind of what I think is going to hold true with the metaverse. So if you can get in the right ones, there's a lot of money to be made long term. Now, that's not to say that even if this metaverse doesn't become one of the top ones, that we can't make 25 or 50 or 100x on it while the market is figuring it out. So I appreciate you bringing this token to me. And, this is another one, not financial advice. But man, what do you got to lose other than a little bit of money at $761 million or $761,000 market cap? I would buy it. In fact, I might buy it right now while we're on screen potentially. So I appreciate you bringing that to me. And I think that that's a token worth looking at. So let me get back over here to me real quick. I appreciate that, Thomas. And, Thomas, I hope that you've been a part of the channel for a while, but if you haven't, I really appreciate you showing up today. Folks, all of you that are here, I can tell that we got a pretty big number of people here. I thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Do me a favor and hit that like button if you haven't yet. Let's get this out to more people. And, folks, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that subscribe button too. I want to get this message out and create financial freedom for as many people as I can during this bull market. The biggest reason that my channel doesn't have more subs, folks, is basically because I got started with my channel right at the peak of the last bull market and then have been building during, this bear market. And the fact of the matter is, there's just a lot less interest in crypto. Crypto is one of those niche, kind of markets where when it's bad, a lot of people disengage. So I'm not here to say that I'm incredible or that, I'm God's gift to crypto or anything like that. But I really do feel like if you subscribe to this channel, you're getting the alpha from somebody that should have 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 subs. And you're getting that when I'm in a position to be a lot more intimate with you, can spend more time with you. I got a lot of people in my Discord group and in my Telegram channels that I'm talking with and building relationships with. It's easy when you have a few thousand subscribers and you've got a nucleus of people that are like your ride or dies. You can really create some incredible relationships with folks. And then you have the ability to take these friendships all the way through to incredible places. I was talking to, a guy, Eric. I think he was up here earlier in the chat. I'm not sure if he's still with us today, depending on his work schedule. But me and Eric were talking the other day, and we were dreaming about, going to, someplace tropical, tropical paradises, enjoying life. You know, I don't drink, so I'll drink a virgin pina colada, but you're welcome to have whatever kind of cocktail you want. But I envision 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000 of us getting together and going on a cruise, or getting together and going to the Bahamas, or just kind of, you know, spending time together. You guys are family. I want to create family. I want to create people that I care about and that care about me, not just be some guy that you come, you know, watch for 5 or 10 minutes every now and then. You know, so folks, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. And then let me go down here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Joshua, after Thomas, it looked like we had Crypto Lifer. He didn't ask for a token. Was that the last super chat?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, good. We're done with the super chat. So let's get on to what I wanted to share with you guys, folks. So the first token that I'm going to hit you up with is not a what I would consider to be a microcap gem. It's a little higher up on the market cap than a microcap gem. Let me get back over here to CoinGecko. But this token right here is, did that click over? Are we watching CoinGecko now? Yeah, good. We're on CoinGecko. Beautiful. Yeah?
Yes, you're good.
Okay.
Sorry,
no, you're good. My son's got a little, for whatever reason, you guys are on a little bit of a delay, so it clicks over immediately for me. So we're going to go over here. And folks, a lot of you may have heard of this token. If you haven't heard of it, then you're in for a real treat. But if you have heard of this token and you haven't bought it, I want to share with you a token called Aerodrome Finance. So folks, this token is sitting at about $1.73 right now. It's all the way up to a $600 million market cap. And this token has ran up over just the last 30 days. It has 16x'd. Man, I wish I would have got in on it sooner, but I was lucky enough to hear about it and get in on it at about 80 cents. So I've already pretty close to 2x my money. And this thing has a ton of room to go. So when you're looking at a $600 million market cap, you're like, well, hey, Brad, we're trying to get 25 or 50 or 100 X's out of these tokens. I'm not here to hear about a token that's going to 5x for me. But the reason that I am so excited about this token is you guys have all probably heard of a little coin exchange called Coinbase. Well, whether you're in the United States or not, whether you can use Coinbase or not, you've all probably heard of Coinbase. Well, Brian Armstrong and the Coinbase Foundation company, whatever you want to call them, they have backed this token 100%. In fact, this token is basically their DEX on the Base network. So for those of you that don't know about it, most of you probably do, but there's a lot of different networks. You got the Ethereum network, you got the Polygon Matic network, you got Solana. You know, Solana is its own network, and so on and so forth. Well, Base, BASE, is its own network. So like when you're adding networks to your MetaMask and you take the Ethereum network that they start you with, and then you add in the Binance Smart Chain, you add in the Polygon, you add in, you know, the different networks so that you can trade on different blockchains. The Base network is Coinbase's brainchild, and it is getting hot. Over the last few months, it's really gained a lot of traction, and this is the DEX that I believe is going to be the #1 DEX on the Base network. And some of the tokens right now that are on the Base network, I'm going to mention a couple other tokens that you can take a look at, but you're going to start seeing this narrative more and more and more. Just like we were talking earlier about real world assets and how that is, you know, a trending topic and going to be big in this bull market. Well, Coinbase does everything right. You know, they got their own stock. They're publicly traded. They've got, I think it's 100 million users I was reading. In fact, let's just go over here. Before I show you this website, I want to show you this article that I came across by a gentleman that I really like. His name's Dynamo DeFi. He's got a pretty incredible YouTube channel also, but it says breaking down Base's Coinbase blockchain powerhouse. And what we'll do is, this is not in the description of the video yet, but I will put this in the description of the video. So if you want to go back and read this for yourself, what it takes to onboard 1 billion users. Maybe it wasn't, 100 million, but he's got a plan. Since 2016, Brian Armstrong has had this plan of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. And the point of this article, I'm not going to read the whole article, but, the infrastructure, exchange, secure storage, that was when Coinbase, launched and had a product where we could buy and sell tokens and do trades and facilitate crypto. The third thing that he did was use a user-controlled wallet. So now Coinbase has a wallet where it's your keys, your crypto. So it created an incredible wallet. And then the last thing that it's doing here is Finance 2.0, 1 billion people. So they're already here to this 100 million people. Their next step is to be to 1 billion people. And as you can see here, you can read, you can read through this yourself, but this is a little bit of like the ecosystem. And, so folks, this token is one that I wouldn't sleep on. If you take a peek at this token on YouTube and you go Google on YouTube, search Aerodrome Finance, you're going to find a lot of top influencers are starting to talk about this token. You'll probably find more videos on Aerodrome Finance than you can watch. And I'm not, Sam from Crypto Lifer was actually where I heard about Aerodrome for the first time. So this guy is an incredible TA guy. And he loves Bitcoin, and he always starts his shows off talking about Bitcoin, but he dives into a lot of different, tokens like Aerodrome. He also is another, like I just did a video on Solidus AI tech. And, just to give you guys an idea, the link to that video is in the description. And I'm going to do a drawing here in the next couple of days where I'm giving away 100 AI tech tokens to 2 people that watched that video, subscribed to the channel, and commented on that video. So when you get a chance, go check out that video and make sure that you get yourself eligible for the drawing. We launched that video on Saturday, probably going to do the drawing in the next couple of days. But I was looking at Solidus. I heard about Solidus from a different influencer and was looking at it on my own. And then I'm on Crypto Lifer's show, and all of a sudden he's talking about how he bought a bag of Solidus. And so Sam is incredible when it comes to the altcoins too. But anyways, Aerodrome Finance here, they are going to be, they're going to be the main DEX for this Coinbase network. And then, just a couple of articles. I'll try to put all of this into these articles into the description of the video. They're not in there quite yet, but here we go. Crypto traders shift focus from Solana to Coinbase's meme coins. So 2 other tokens, I'm not going to pull them up right this second, but write this down or put it in your mind. The first token that is a meme coin on Coinbase that has been exploiting, I shouldn't say Coinbase because it's technically not Coinbase, it's Base. Base is the network. But the first token is called BRETT, BRETT. Full disclosure, I haven't bought any yet, but I've been watching it. And another, I don't want you to all just go watch Crypto Lifer and never come back, but I actually heard about BRETT on his channel. And had I bought it the day that he mentioned it, I would be up, I want to say somewhere in a ballpark of 10 to 25x. It's done extremely well over the last few weeks. And he mentioned it a while back, which leads me to my next point. Super quick, folks. Time is of the essence with a lot of these tokens. With something like an Aerodrome, it's got a $600 million market cap. You got a little bit of time. Like if you wait a little bit and it goes down to 500 million, or if you wait a little bit and it goes up to 800 million, probably not going to be a significant difference in how much money you make on it long term. But folks, some of these meme coins, the difference between making 1,000x or 100x and only making 5 or 10x can be literally hours or days or weeks. So I still think BRETT could have a long ways to run, and it could still give us some great multiples. Crypto Lifer was talking the other day that he hasn't sold it, that he still thinks it's a great project. So another one. So that's BRETT. And you'll be able to figure out that that's the right token, because when you look at its network, it'll show that it's on the Base network. Another one on Coinbase or the Base network that I think is worth looking at, meme coin wise, is called Normie, Normie, Normie. And so those are a couple of meme coins, but just this article came out on March 21st. The next article that I'm going to show you here, Base leads layer 2 activity behind Aerodrome Finance. So is Aero set for a meteoric rise? I'll put the link to this in the description, guys. You can go read more about this play, but I'm telling you, do not sleep on Aerodrome Finance. You saw what Uniswap has done. You see what, PancakeSwap has done. And that's another thing real fast. We'll get back over here to the CoinGecko tab, because I want to, for those of you that are still thinking, man, this is a pretty cool token maybe, but I don't see how it's $600 billion, 600 million, how it can be something that's going to really make me a lot of money. Well, real fast, let's run over here real quick and go to Uniswap. Yes.
We also have another
super chat. Awesome. Thank you. I'll get right to that. So Uniswap sitting here at $12. Look at its market cap. $9 billion, folks. So if my math is right, 6 times 15 is 90. So therefore 600 million times 15 would be about 9 billion, roughly. So right there, it's got a 15x in it, Aerodrome does. But folks, 1251 ain't even close to Uniswap's highest price. Uniswap was a $45 token. So once again, math is one of my better things. Right off the top of my head, 3 times 12 is 36. Half of 12 makes 42. So roughly 3.5 times, roughly 3.5, maybe it's slightly over 3.5 times to get back up to its initial high. So if its market cap is at 9 billion right now, what's its market cap going to be at 3.5 times that? Well, it'd be what, about 27, about 32 billion. So that means that Uniswap was a $32 billion token during the last bull market. Now, when you start to take 600 million, if it was a 15x, and now you got to multiply that by 3.5, what is that? 45, around a 50x. And that's assuming that Uniswap is not going to ever break through its previous all-time high, which I think most of us would agree it's gonna. So we don't know where it's going to end up at the end of this bull run, but let's say that it doubles its previous all-time high, which I think is not out of the question. Now you're talking about a token that's got, almost $100 billion market cap. And that's why I think that Aerodrome Finance can give you 25, 50, 100x and more. This is a long-term play, folks. This ain't a buy it today, sell it tomorrow. I'm going to be holding my Aerodrome all the way through to the peak of this bull market. So that's one of the tokens that I wanted to share with you. I know that I got another super chat, but real quick, while it's on my mind, I want to share this token with you guys. And I also want to, hopefully give you a little bit of education as to earlier, I was talking about a token that had a big run up already. And like, I was a little hesitant to buy it, or, felt like I had gotten in late. And so what I wanted to show you, this token here is another token that was featured in one of my videos about a week or so ago. I did a video with 5 microcap gems in it. This token here, ticker TIN, TIN, was one of those tokens. Well, I originally heard about this token when it was about $0.015. And by the time I heard about it and really started looking at it, it was at about 10 cents. And I felt like I had missed the boat. But what I ended up doing here right on good old MEXC is I bought I noticed that it had ran all the way up to about 15 cents. And I really felt like I'd missed the boat. And then it came from 15 back down to around 10. And then it went back to 15 and I hadn't bought any. And then it went back to 10. Long story short, after watching this happen a couple of times, I bought like $1,000 worth of it at pretty close to 10 cents. And then it went up to 13 or 14 cents and I sold it for, 13 or 1400, made a few $100. Well, I did that a couple of different times. The trouble was that the last time that I bought it at around, or that I sold it at, 13, 14 cents, it just kept going up. So if we go over here, back over here to CoinGecko, and we bring up the token 10, it's this one here, token IN. It's up 44% today. But if we go look at its, say, 1 month chart even, you can see here, folks, where it went from this, round 10 cents all the way up to 40 something cents. Well, guess who didn't own any of it when it went all the way up to 41 cents? Because I got tricky and tried to buy it and sell it a couple of times. And I made a little bit of money, but I missed this great big huge spike. But what I didn't do was get FOMO. I didn't have fear of missing out. And so I just realized, hey, okay, it looks like I might have missed this one, but I'm going to keep a close eye on it. But maybe it just keeps going up. And okay, if I missed it, I missed it. There's going to be 1,000 more tokens that I can get down here and that I can do this with. So you don't have to have fear of missing out if you miss out on one token. But look at what happened here. Lo and behold, baby. This thing was at 40 cents on March 4th. Come over here to about March 24th, and it's down to 9.8 cents. Well, guess what I did? Let me go back over here to my MEXC screen. I want to show you guys, if you look at order history, I bought me some 10. I bought a little bit at 10 cents. I bought a little bit at 10.5 cents, and I bought a little bit at a little under 9 cents. And now here it is today, boom, back up to, well, it has, you can see it has a nice little red line right now. It jumped all the way from, over 13 cents here down to a little, around 12. But you can see if you go further out on this chart, it's like a heart attack chart. But I don't care about that. What I care about is what is it going to look like in about a year from now. So when I get done talking about this token, I'm going to go to the next super chat. But this is another token that's very, very, very much on my radar. So folks, just a little, it's only sitting at a $1.2 million market cap. So when my friends from Chase Next Web 3 YouTube channel, and they're also the guys that I work with for the Done For You airdrops, they're the Done For You airdrops team. When they did this video, it was only sitting at $150,000 market cap. And even now it's only sitting at 1.2 million. So this is another one that I consider to be a micro cap gem that's got 100 or 1,000x potential in it. Go check out their website, go check out their socials, do your own due diligence. But this is a token that I'm planning on accumulating and riding through this next bull market. So you got a couple tokens from some members. You got a couple tokens from me. Let me run back over here and check out the super chat. All right, let's go here. Yes, sir.
Note that it is in rupees, not USD.
Okay. What do we got here? Why crypto? Hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Super appreciate it. Let me see here. We've got ourselves Gary Network, Gari Network. It's a DeFi social media platform. All right, let's give it a quick look, man. Let's give it a peek. So we're going to go back over here to our trusty CoinGecko and look up Gari Network. So let's go back over here. Sorry, guys, I'm still getting used to all of the different screens. So we're on MEXC. We got to get over here to CoinGecko. That should have done it. And then let's look up Gary, Gari. Gari Network. I think that was what he said. It's the only one I'm finding. So this is probably it. for some reason this isn't the right token, please just say something in the chat. And my guy Joshua, my son, will let me know if this isn't the right token. But I'm thinking that we got the right one here. Sitting at $16 million market cap. I love the looks of that. Anything below 25 million is really what I consider to be a really, a real micro cap gem. You start getting up to 100 million or so, and it starts to kind of turn into, mid caps in a sense. So micro cap gem, anything under 25 million is really, on my radar screen. It looks like it's down for the year. I'm not going to lie to you. That concerns me a little bit. The way that this market has been running for the last, 4 months, 5 months, since around October or so, slightly concerning. I would be a little bit curious as to why exactly that is. So that concerns me slightly. If you have any input, you can throw something in the chat. Like if you know something, like, for whatever reason, they just they weren't doing great, so they made some kind of a shift in the marketplace. Did something, they started something new, and so there's good reason to believe that trend is going to change. They are up.
Have the super chat. It's kind of blocking the screen.
Say that again.
Still have the super chat up on the screen.
Ah, okay. No worries. Let's get rid of that real quick here.
Just so
yeah. So everybody can see everything. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know. That's why I got him around, man. I try to do all of this stuff by myself sometimes, and it just don't work out so well. It's so nice to have somebody else, here to help. So that, like I said, that's slightly concerning. Let's see if I don't see anything due to the collapse. They were investors in this. It brought it down just like Solana. Okay. So it looks like R3A has a little bit of an idea of what this is too. So that's good news. So let's go here. I mean, it does have a little over the last 30 days. It's up 18%. It is showing a little bit of life. So that's good. I do like the fact that it's on Solana. So super, super cheap and low fees. And let's see where you can buy it. Cool thing about something when it's on Solana, I don't care what exchanges it's on within reason. I mean, I like the fact that I'm seeing it here on MEXC and KuCoin, but I probably would end up buying it, on Jupiter or Radium, probably buy it somewhere right through my Phantom wallet potentially, although I'd be happy to look at it and potentially buy something, buy something through these exchanges too. And that reminds me, will you please write down the tokens that I'm going over? Because seriously, there's one of the tokens I didn't go back and buy it on MEXC, but either the second or third token that was brought to us, I don't even remember the name of it. My mind is just so focused on what I'm doing. But one of the tokens that you guys brought me is a token that I do want to buy a little bit. It was the one that had the 765. What's that? Yeah, the GPT Plus. When this stream is over, I'm going to probably go buy a little bag of that. And whoever it was, try to write down who it was that gave us that tip to, so that we can come back to you. If that turns out to be a gold mine, we can, appreciate you here on the channel and, maybe even, figure out something special for you. So folks, if you come here and you bring, some incredible coin that makes the community a ton of money, I definitely, want to thank you and, and reward you for that. So it's on Solana. I like the looks of that. It's got some incredible exchanges, so you could buy it in a bunch of places. That's a huge plus. And let's take a peek. Let's take a peek at the circulating supply. Is 433 million total supply, 997 million. So it's got a little over half to go. It's about almost 50% of its tokens, slightly under 50% are in circulation. So that's a good sign. Once again, I would take a little bit of a look at when the rest of them are going to hit and how they are going to hit, but that would not concern me. A lot of tokens only have half of the supply. You got to remember, the total supply also includes like the marketing tokens, the liquidity tokens, the team tokens. It includes a lot of tokens that some of which might never really totally end up in circulation, or they could end up in circulation years down the road. So a token that's got 50% of its tokens out, that's a good sign. And then last but not least, let's take a look here at its website. and see exactly what it's all about. So if I did that right, we should be looking at the website. It looks like we are. So now I clicked off of it. Got to get back. There we go. So world's largest Web3 audio and video live streaming platform. So let me go back over here real fast. Why crypto? Okay, so why crypto? My thoughts on this, just to give you, I'm not negative about it by any means. I'm just a little nervous about these types of platforms because there's a lot of stuff that's been trying to replace Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, for a long time. And the last 5 or 10 real world projects that I've found that are trying to create stuff like this, or, create a new YouTube, it's hard to compete with companies like YouTube right now. And so I've invested in a token called XCAD, XCAD, slightly different from the looks of it, but kind of similar. So the two things that would worry me slightly about this project, why crypto, is the fact that it does have quite a bit of competition. There's several other cryptocurrency projects that are trying to do this. And then it's just a very tough way. It's tough to break in to this market right now. It'd be like, here in America, we've got T-Mobile, Verizon, and a couple other cell phone providers. Right now, it'd be near impossible for a new company to break in to, the cell phone market. Although you've got like the Solana phone and some different things that are coming. And a lot of this may pertain more to folks outside of the United States. So there's a lot of areas in the world that just don't have access to cell phones, that don't have, as much access to banking. So that's why like a lot of DeFi platforms and like some of this, Web3 banking, it's not so much that Americans are going to jump on top of it, but you got a lot of the world that'll jump on top of it. So, looking at it from that point of view, if this can gain, I don't see this necessarily gaining huge traction in the United States. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very well could gain enough traction outside of the United States to, to make some waves. It's got some, it looks like partnership announcements, join the community. I would, this is one where I would definitely take a look at their Discord, take a look at their Telegram, and see how the community is doing. Unlock a world of live conversation and expert insights with Chingari, your ultimate platform for meaningful connections and knowledge and sharing. The thing that I do like about it is that I think that we need more of these platforms that are successful, because I don't like being held hostage to YouTube. Something happened tomorrow and YouTube decided to delete my channel. What am I going to do? So I do believe that it's smart to be building on different networks and have different avenues. So I would like to see a company like this be successful and create platforms where content providers like myself can put our content in multiple different places. And if something happens to one of them, it's not that big of a deal because we have the others. So once again, why crypto? I don't want you to take this the wrong way and have me say that I'm against it. I like a lot of the things about it, just make me slightly nervous, but hey, that's why we're here. We don't call this microcap gems for nothing. I mean, they're microcap gems. A lot of times we're going to lose all of our money, but every once in a while, we're going to turn a little bit into a mountain of money too. So does this have the ability? Let me go back over here to CoinGecko. Does this thing have the ability to turn a little bit of money into a lot of money? Absolutely. With a $16 million market cap, if it starts to gain some traction, gain some news, gain some influencers, this thing, for certain could have some legs. Let's look at one other thing here. So, it's all-time low. So it's, fairly new project. So that's a good sign in a sense. One of the reasons that maybe it hasn't had as big of a run up over the last few months is because it's kind of new and it's getting out there. A lot of the projects that have had really big run ups over the last 3, 4, 5 months. Some of them are projects that, people had heard about that were already established, that had been around for a little while. So I appreciate you bringing this to me. And because it is on, Mexi Global, I would be willing to throw, $100 at this and see what happens to it. Something else, folks, that I did want to mention is with a lot of these tokens, you'll hear me say that I'm riding these tokens all the way through to the new, to the next through the bull market. And that is true with a lot of my top plays, like Aerodrome is a token that I'm riding all the way through this bull market. Solidus AI Tech that I did that video on, that's another token. I might even pull that up here and show it to you because it's technically not a real micro cap right now. I think it's sitting at maybe 100 and something million dollars, but that's still nothing in crypto world. So Solidus AI Tech, that's a token that I'm going to ride through this bull market. Gains VC platform token, the Gains Launchpad token that I've been talking about, token I'm going to just hold. I don't really care too much about the price fluctuations. I've got it staked. I'm getting in on their private sales. I'm getting in on their launch pads. So I don't really care whether the token's 10 cents or $1 over the next year. I do believe it's going to be a $10, $15, $20 token at the peak of this bull market, and I will, because it's a launchpad token, probably pull some profits out at that point. But my point is, folks, when you're buying one of the tokens that we went over today, if you decide to buy some Gary, you decide to buy some Brett or some Normie or some of this GPT plus, I would highly, highly, highly consider that if you get in it and all of a sudden it's double, triple, 5x your money, pull back your initial capital. I don't remember where I heard it the first time. It's not my saying, but I love it. But I heard this one time on a crypto channel, and the guy said, hey, you're never going to go broke taking profits. So don't be scared to take profits, folks. That's another thing I heard just recently. A lot of us, including me, have rode this incredible wave up during a bull market and created tremendous wealth. And then we thought it was going to keep going, and we got greedy. We wanted another 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50%, and we didn't cash out enough. And almost inevitably, the bull market never lasts as long as we think it's gonna. So during the last bull market, we topped out at about, 67,000? Most of us believed that we were going to hit 100,000 in 2021 going into 2022. At the peak of the bull market, we expected $100,000 plus Bitcoin. So at 67,000, I wasn't excited to sell because I believed that we had a long ways to run. And I thought that we had the opportunity, if Bitcoin ran from 67,000 all the way up to 125 grand, that my portfolio would probably 10x. So even if Bitcoin just went up by another 50% or so, I thought my portfolio would 10x, which would have given me basically enough money to just live off of the interest for the rest of my life if I wanted to, and I could have lived an incredible life. Instead, I didn't get anywhere near enough cashed out. It created some financial stress over the last couple of years. I wasn't super worried about it. I knew this moment in time was coming. But folks, please, if you go back and listen to Crypto Life or Chico Crypto, like all of the Joe Pierce, all of the top guys, you'll hear almost all of us say that we didn't cash out enough during our first bull market. So please, you're going to hear me talk about that every time we talk about these tokens. Hopefully that comes to my mind. Do not be one of the guys that turns a little bit of money into $1 million and then doesn't cash it out and watches the $1 million turn back into a little bit of money. Please don't do that. Take profits. And on these highly speculative coins, I'm telling you, you put $1,000 into one of these coins and then it goes up to being worth $3 or $4 grand and you sell off half of it. You take your 1,000 back and you take, say, 1,000 in profit. The 50% that you still have in there can still make miraculous amounts of money and you got no risk. When your wife says, hey, how'd that token that you put $1,000 in, go to, and you tell her, well, it's out of business right now. And she goes, oh, that's awful. And you're like, yeah, but it's okay. I doubled my money before it went out of business. That's, happy wife, happy life. And for you ladies out there, same thing. But for those of you guys that if you're married, you got significant others, taking some profits is a great way to get them the rest of the way behind you. Totally off topic, but I've seen a lot of relationships, and I've been in my own relationships where my significant other wasn't as supportive of my journeys as I would like for them to have been. Now, I'm going to say that I've been very, very blessed. My current wife, my lady that I've been with now for the last 11 years, is unbelievably supportive. But even with her, it only lasts so long if I never have anything to show for it. So she put up with me in 18 and 19 and 20, losing most of my money, although it wasn't lost. I hadn't sold any of the stuff. But in 18, 19, and 20, folks, for those of you that don't know my story, I was investing like crazy. I watched my buddy turn $10,000 into $2.2 million in the bull run of 17 going into 18. I jumped in right at the peak of that bull market in, late 17 going into 18. And I thought I was going to be filthy rich at the end of 18. And then everything crashed kind of like it did in 22 and 23. And folks, all of 18, all of 19, and all of 20, all I did was lose money as far as the net worth. Luckily for me, I didn't sell anything. So when the market came roaring back in 2021, life was good. But my point is I missed out on a lot of profits in 18, 19, and 20 because even though it was a bear market, I would still jump into coins and they would go up 3, 4, 5, 10x. And I would think they were going up 100x. And so I wouldn't sell any of them. And then they'd end up coming back down and end up losing money, never making a penny on them. It just doesn't make sense, folks. If you get a token to 5 or 10x's, take a little profits and then let the rest ride. So with that here, let's go. Do we got anything else in the chat that I really need to go over, Josh? Anything that you're seeing?
Really.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you all being here. I am going to give you, just like I said, a little bit of a bonus. I do want to show you Solidus. So for, hey, Deanna, that's my sweetheart right there. That's her, so I love you too, sweetheart. You one of the best blessings that God has ever given me. And so thank you for being here and watching this today. I didn't even realize that you were tuning in. I appreciate that. So let's go over the last token for today, folks. Take that back. I'm going to give you 2 tokens real quick. I am going to make it fast. I appreciate you guys spending this much time with me. But this other token, we're going to go do the Solidus AI token last. But this other token, I really want to share with you guys real quick. It's called Root. It's called the Root Network. And this token right now is sitting at about 9 cents. Its fully diluted market cap is showing here at $1 billion. It doesn't show its current market cap because it's not showing its circulating supply. So that would be a little bit concerning. But this company, I don't have the tweet right in front of me, but I was notified about this token from a good friend of mine, Mark Fu, that owns Altcoin Ignition. Another little plug for a friend of mine. Something, the other theme that you'll see here, folks, is that I've got my, I'm paying to be in Altcoin Ignition's Discord group. He's got amazing alpha. And so, you're going to notice that I'm mentioning, hey, I found this token from Joe Paris. I found this token from Crypto Lifer. I found this token from Mark at Altcoin Ignition. What that's basically, hopefully a lesson for you guys is that you don't got to necessarily figure it all out on your own. The more you learn, the more tokens that you'll kind of find. But especially if you're busy working a full-time job, you got a 9 to 5, or you're busy and you only got time to be watching 3 or 4 hours of YouTube a day and researching CoinGecko, then get in with some of these good influencers, put yourself in a position, continue to follow this channel, and good tokens like this are going to come your way without you necessarily having to do the work. Now, once again, you always got to do your own due diligence, do your own research. Don't take my word for anything. But this is a token that I jumped into because it's got a tweet talking about some incredible partnerships and some of the stuff that is coming up for this token. So let's go over here. It is an Ethereum-based token, but you can also buy it on MEXC Global. Golly, I wonder if anybody's getting the point that I really love MEXC Global. So yeah, I got some of this token here on MEXC Global, And this is definitely a token that I am excited about for its future. And once again, let's take a quick peek at its website. I'm going to let you guys do most of the research because I don't want to go all day on you. Although with this type of a live stream, I mean, I don't know that it could be too long. I mean, I know that Crypto Lifer, some of his live streams are, almost 2 hours long, and people are loving it. So look at this. We got the Root Network, you got Root Staking, you got the white paper. But just check this out here. More than just a blockchain, the Root Network enables seamless user experience and asset interoperability across the open metaverse. And then if you click over here on partnerships, oh, this is, never mind. That was a bad click. That was showing if you wanted to become a partner. But if we come down here, core protocols, UX protocols, metaverse protocols, there's another token that Mark Fu mentioned at the same time as he mentioned this token. Is kind of part of a little bit of a bundle. And I've actually got this token in my Discord group. So if you want to know more about this token and the other two tokens that go with this whole bundle of tokens that I believe is going to be amazing, click on the link in the description, go to the Discord, verify yourself, and then go check out the Gem Discord. I post all of my gem plays, my degen plays, and my gem plays in my Discord, and normally I'm posting them there first. So you're going to hear about it here, which is fantastic. But if you're in the Discord, you're probably going to hear about it in the Discord before I've actually made a video or talked about it on a video. So this is a token, though, that I am super, super excited about. And I'm trying to get down here and see if it shows some of its partners here. So it's not really showing its partners here. So I'm going to see if I can find the tweet, and I'll put that tweet in the Discord for you too, so that you can go check out. I might even put that tweet in the Discord. If I remember correctly, when Mark shared this with us, I think I shared that tweet. So once again, it's another shameless way to get you guys into the Discord and communicating with us and being part of the community. Go check out the Discord. And then last but not least, let's go back over to CoinGecko and then let me show you Solidus AI. And I think you guys are going to really love this project. I think it's one of the coolest projects that I've come across in a while. Solidus AI Tech. Once again, it's part of the AI family, which we all know is just doing massive, massive, huge things in this marketplace. It is sitting at $135 million market cap. But once again, that is not necessarily a great big market cap for a token like this. You are getting a little bit of a retracement on its price. It actually peaked up here a few weeks ago, all the way up at 49 cents. This is another one that when I heard about it, it was sitting at about 30 or 35 cents. And instead of just buying it, I waited a little bit of time. I wanted to see at 30, 35 cents, it had gone up a decent chunk. You can see here, it's up 84% in the last 30 days. And that's after it's retraced from, this all-time high of 49. It's only at 26, and it's still up almost 100%. So I looked at this token and saw that it was like a dime not that long ago, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 cents. And so at 30 cents, I was like, I don't know if I want to buy it. And then the next thing I know, it was almost 50 cents. But just like I mentioned on the other token, the N, I waited patiently. It came back down. I bought a nice little bag of it at about 30 cents, 29 cents. Now, yeah, is it down slightly? Sure, it's down 10% from my, from my 29, 30 cent buy, but I'm not worried about that. On tokens like this, I don't mind. If this token, something happened to it and it got crushed off all the way back down to a dime, I'd be shaking my fist in the air in excitement. Yeah, I wouldn't be thrilled that my 30-cent buy was down, 66%, but I'd be absolutely ecstatic that I could buy this token at 10 cents. So this is a token that I'm super excited about. Go check out the deep dive video that I did on Saturday. Get yourself qualified to win 100 of these tokens. Yeah, they're only worth 100 tokens, $26. You're like, well, I don't know if I'm that excited about going and watching the video. Maybe I win $26. But I promise you guys, this token is going to do amazing during this bull market. I gave away some Dimitra tokens about a year ago, and the guy is up. I think he said it was up. It was $50 worth of Dimitra tokens that he got in that video were worth over $1,800 today, something to that effect, or maybe it was $25 that was worth $1,800. He said it was up 70x since I gave him the tokens in that giveaway a year ago. So yeah, it's only $26, but what if this does 100x? Then you're looking at a $2,600, freebie. On top of that, you're going to learn enough about this token to decide if it in fact would be a good addition to your portfolio. But let's take a look at their website super fast here. So Solidus AI Tech. I am a sucker for cool websites, and I will tell you, I think that these guys have a really cool website. As you scroll down with the movement and everything, I mean, you can see that they spent some serious money putting this together. I'm not sharing. Okay, thank you. Let me see let me go back over here and figure out I never clicked. See what I mean about my technical difficulties, guy? You guys didn't see any of the root network then either. All right, well, let's get over here back to this. I wish we would have caught that a little bit sooner. So this is their website. This is their website here, and you can click on the services and see it's got the IaaS self-service platform, which basically there's all, for governmental authorities, corporations, SMEs, and professionals alike. They offer our services solutions tailored to meet their specific needs. So this is something that could end up being a part of and helping, some big entities, handling complex computation, intensive data analysts, tasks. You can go through the website a little bit here. But, one of the other things that I really got excited about here was that they have a Launchpad. And so, folks, as you know, I love Launchpads. I'm part of, the GainsPad. But this looks like a very, very exciting Launchpad. If you go down here and take a look at some of the tokens that they have right now that they're raising funds for, scroll down a little bit further. Octavia is a token that I got in at. It was about 7 cents, I want to say. Yeah, so they had it here at 8 cents. Octavia right now is worth well over $1. I didn't get in on this one. They had DChat, which is interesting. I actually just came across DChat yesterday doing some research, and I was trying to decide if this DChat was a token that I wanted to get into. The fact that it launched here on this AI Tech Launchpad, I'm going to go back and look at it closer. It had Aether Games, which for those of you that know about Aether Games, that's done incredibly, incredibly well. It was at 3.2 cents. I think it went up into the 20s or 30s. So it's up 6, 7, 8, 10x, and it's fairly new. So it hasn't had a ton of these sales. But man, you can buy these tokens, you can stake these tokens and earn rewards on your tokens, and at the same time get involved in this Launchpad and be able to buy into some of these sales before they go public. And then during the euphoric peak bull market, these Launchpad tokens go absolutely crazy, because what happens inevitably, what's going to happen is they're going to have a token that does 100x, 1000x at launch. Like Blocktopia last year for me, I got $1,000 into Blocktopia. At its peak, it was up over 1000x. I sold $50 worth of Blocktopia for $5,000, $50 for $20,000, $50 for $20,000, and $50 for $5,000. And I'm still holding a bunch of it because it came out and kind of peaked right at the end of the last bull market. But folks, 50 times 400 is $20,000. So I was able to make a 400x on some of my Blocktopia, and I got that through the Gains VCs. So when some of these tokens launch, we're not even anywhere near the biggest part of the bull market. Bitcoin hasn't halved. Bitcoin halves, and some of these launch pads have some of these amazing launches where people, let's do the math. Say you put $1,000 into something and you get 25% of it at launch and it 100x's. Well, what's 25% of 1,000? $250. What's 25 or 250 times 100? It's 25 grand, folks. So it doesn't take people very long. They throw 1,000 at something, they get 25 grand back a couple weeks later, and then they still have 75% of the tokens coming over the next 3, 4, 6, 9, 12 months, whatever it is. They're all different vesting, but a couple of those happen and they hit the news. And these launch pads are going to go absolutely ballistic. In the last bull market, the Seedify launch pad went up over $1 billion market cap. And that was just its first good run. People were just finding out about it. In this bull market, I expect Seedify to do much better than that. So this token, at 135 million, still has miles and miles and miles to run. And with Seedify, the launch pad is all Seedify really does. So that's its niche. It either works or it doesn't. Solidus, as you saw, has all of these other services that it's providing for big agencies, potentially governments and different companies, along with the Launchpad just kind of being the icing on the cake. So folks, man, this was an incredible first version of this. This is the beginning of, we didn't put Wednesday in the title, but this is basically, the Wednesday microcap millions. I didn't love that in the thumbnail, but we're going to be doing this next week, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon Eastern, and we're going to be doing it every single week on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Noon Eastern. And folks, for those of you that didn't get a chance to check out Monday was called Monday Mastery Mindset. For those of you that are looking to really become the best version of yourself in all areas of your life, health and relationships and finances and the whole kit and caboodle, that are interested in more than just creating wealth, I think you're going to really enjoy the Monday Mindset Mastery. So go check that out. I get a little bit more intimate on that one. I tell some stories about myself. This last Monday, I told a story, one of the most embarrassing moments of my life that brought me to tears. So you get an opportunity to get to know me a little bit on a more deeper level, see my heart, and you're going to learn some incredible stuff over there. And we still do some little bit of crypto, on that day too. Today's your main crypto day. If all you care about is, man, I want to find out about 5 or 10 new tokens that I can go put some money into, today's your day, man. But if you really have the desire to become the best you possible, then get on there on Mondays too. And then I am excited, this Saturday, we're going to have a deep dive video coming out. Those of you that are in the Discord and that are part of our membership, you're actually going to get access to that video 24 hours before the world. So that video goes in our Discord channel on Friday afternoon, and then it goes public to the world on Saturday afternoon. I've got an incredible token lined up. Might even be one of the tokens that I talked a little bit about today. So with that, folks, I love you. I thank you all for being here, and we will see you very, very soon, man. I'm hoping to, at the very least, I'll see you next Wednesday, but I think we've got some other good stuff planned. We're trying to fill in some stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So don't be surprised if you get a notification, you see a impromptu live sometime over the next couple of days. That's another great thing. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, because I am definitely known to just have a wild hair and say, you know what, son? Let's go live. Now we're going to go live in 15 minutes. We're going to go live in 30 minutes, and we get on here and tear it up. So yeah, that's right, Diggy Mo. I do cry when I see Bambi. What you got to say about that? Oh man, I love you guys. You're the best. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday or Thursday. If you're on the other side of the world, you might be watching this Thursday. Whatever it is for you, just have an amazing, great, fantastic day. And we will see you again real soon. God bless.